The man crouched before the coffin and noticed his supposedly dead wife's eyelid move ever so slightly. However, he had no intention of saving her and instead immediately ordered the coffin to be sealed and buried. This was only because the man was a reborn soul. In his previous life, his wife faked her death and tricked him out of all his property. She even left him with a massive mountain of debt. This caused him to eventually wander the streets homeless and broken. Just as he prepared to follow his wife into death, a familiar yet distant figure suddenly appeared. Only then did he realize his wife was perfectly alive and not dead at all. It turned out she had secretly run away with another man and carefully planned this fake death scheme. The man stared at her in pure disbelief. Soon after, the wife revealed a painful secret that almost destroyed him. Back then, she not only deceived her husband but also sweet-talked him into taking a loan of $20 million. She and her lover had been enjoying a carefree, luxurious life with that money. At this moment, the man let out a heartbreaking roar. He explained that in order to pay off her debts, he had sold their car and house and even mortgaged his company. Even their only son despised him and severed their relationship. Right then, a young figure walked toward him. It was this person's appearance that completely shattered him. This person was his son, whom he had not seen for many years. Yet the son turned to the man beside him and called that man dad. The man angrily questioned his son, asking what was going on. Then he learned another earth-shattering truth. His son was not his biological child but the child of his wife and her lover. He realized he had not only been betrayed but had even raised another man's kid for 20 long years. The blow was so devastating he spit blood on the spot. These vicious people even picked up a brick and sent him to his death. Until his last breath, the man could not understand what he had done wrong. Yet the very next moment, he was reborn. He returned to the day of his wife's fake death. Looking at the date on his phone, scenes from his past life flashed vividly before his eyes. He vowed that in this life he would make that adulterous pair pay a terrible price. Meanwhile, his wife and her lover were secretly plotting their clever plan. The son even personally applied a fake death makeup look to his mother. Their scheme was arranged flawlessly. They were simply waiting for the man to fall into their trap. Even the death certificate had already been prepared. Next, the son used a method to make his mother fall into a false death sleep. After that, he quickly called the man. He told his father to rush to the hospital to see his mother. He even claimed she had died in a terrible car accident on the way home. Hearing his father's emotional voice, the son held back his laughter, thinking the trap had finally worked. But he did not know that once the call ended, the man was already preparing his revenge. Soon the man arrived at the hospital and looked at his wife lying quietly on the bed. He pretended to cry bitterly, then suddenly slapped the woman repeatedly with fierce swings. That still was not enough, so he grabbed a needle and stabbed her harshly. The son stood there stunned, having no idea what his father was doing. He angrily pushed the man aside. Then he pulled out the already prepared death certificate, trying to force him to accept reality. The man looked at the certificate, secretly delighted. With this death certificate, everything he planned afterward would become easy. So he played along and collapsed into a dramatic breakdown. The son, seeing his reaction, felt triumphant. He prepared for the next step of their plan. Then he brought a bowl of doctored chicken soup and told him to drink it. At this moment, the man recalled that in his previous life it was this soup that caused him to pass out, giving them the chance to ruin him. So he refused decisively. The son panicked when the plan failed. Just then, the wife's father rushed in. Seeing his daughter supposedly dead, he collapsed into a chair in deep grief. The man quickly told the son to take the old man home to rest. Meanwhile, he took the chance to move his wife to the tomb. He worried that if too much time passed, she would wake up, so he had to act fast. He spent a large amount of money to hire an excavator to work quickly. Also, he could finish everything before the lover arrived. Yet just as the man was about to bury his wife, an unexpected incident occurred.